Welcome to the 5-paragraph essay 101. A 5-paragraph essay is a formal piece of writing made up of 5 paragraphs. An introduction, 3 body paragraphs, and a conclusion. And of course you all know what a paragraph is because you've watched Paragraph Writing 101. I did say 5 paragraphs. But it's easy with the Hamburger Theory. Think of your 5-paragraph essay as you would a hamburger. You have your introduction and your conclusion. Both contain roughly the same type of information, but are presented in a different way. Then you have your body paragraphs. Here you have lettuce, cheese, and a hamburger. Each ingredient represents a paragraph and a new topic. So in other words, I have my introduction, which is my bun, and then I have the 3 body paragraphs represented by the hamburger patty, the lettuce, and the cheese. 3 very different ingredients which represent 3 different topics. And then finally, bun again, which is the conclusion. Here we see where the introduction and the conclusion are similar. And in the introduction, you're going to tell the reader what you're going to write about. And the conclusion, you tell the reader what you wrote about. Basically the same information, but slightly different. But there is something missing. Don't forget the ketchup. We all know that without ketchup or mustard or mayonnaise, our hamburger is going to taste dry and probably fall apart when we try to pick it up. It's the same thing with an essay. You need transitional words, words like similarly, afterwards, in conclusion, firstly, secondly, those kind of words that help the reader through the text. So let's build a burger. Many of you have read the book Holes and even seen the movie. So our 5-paragraph essay is going to be about the similarities and differences between the book and the film. And of course, you're going to start with your brainstorm. In my brainstorm, I see that I can find 3 different topics to write about. Here's one about Stanley and how he's slightly different. The next one is the minor characters and how I think they're basically the same. And finally, the setting. There are my 3 paragraphs. Remember that the introduction is where you tell the reader what the essay is going to be about, what you're going to write about. And I've decided I'm going to write about Stanley and how he's different. I'm going to write about the minor characters and how they're much the same. And then I'm going to write something about the settings. Those are the things I took from my brainstorm. So now I'm going to start writing my first body paragraph, represented by the hamburger patty. And of course I start out with my topic sentence. In the film, there were a few changes made to Stanley's character. Some things that happened to him in the book were taken away, but he's still very much the same Stanley. That's my topic sentence, and that's what this paragraph is going to be about. And then I continue. For example, and there I have a little bit of ketchup. The fact that Stanley is overweight and bullied in school is not included in the film. However, more ketchup, he is as naive in the film as he is in the book. This is clearly shown when he makes the decision to go to Camp Green Lake, because he has never been to camp before. In addition, ketchup, when asked why he was at Camp Green Lake, he doesn't hesitate to blame it on his no-good, dirty, rotten, pig-stealing great-great-grandfather. He is the same old Stanley. So now I've done what I said I was going to do in my introduction, and I've talked about Stanley. And then it's time for body paragraph number 2, my lettuce. Once again, I start with a topic sentence. The minor characters such as Mr. Sir, Mom, and the boys of D-Tent are also, ketchup, pretty much the same in the film as they are in the book. Once again, I go back to my introduction and see, yeah, now I've talked about the minor characters. And then it's time to write the third body paragraph. And just as I did with the first and second body paragraphs, I start with my topic sentence, followed up with supporting sentences, and I'm sure to include some ketchup. And then that's the last point where I talked about the setting. Now I've done exactly what I said I was going to do. I've written about these things that were in the introduction. And then in my conclusion, I'm going to tell the reader, this is what I just wrote about. And here you'll see the same things coming up again, our 3 different ingredients again, but not exactly in the same order. Here I talk about the different characters. My lettuce came there. The hamburger patty here, though Stanley is clearly different in some ways. And then about the setting there. So you see, I've got basically the same information in my conclusion as in my introduction. It's really important when you're writing an essay that you stay on topic and you remember what the essay is supposed to be about. Here I made a chart from my essay just to check and make sure that I've stayed on topic. And I have done, because I can see that in my introduction, I talk about Stanley. And then I have in my body paragraph, my first topic sentence says, okay, now I'm going to talk about Stanley. And in my conclusion, I say, I've talked about Stanley. That's one way you can check and make sure that you've stayed on topic. So next time your teacher asks you to write an essay, remember, organizing your writing is easy with the Hamburger Theory.